we're a fantastic team. We know we are, and we hope to, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
I am very excited about that. Yeah. I am very excited about that. Yeah.
I watch this clip and I see two charlatans. It makes me so angry and it also makes me question intent. Look at Harry's face. That's a man who really believed something magical was about to begin. The idealism, the joy, the trust, it's all there. But this wasn't the beginning of a love story. It was the beginning of a story about power, image, identity collapse, and destruction. In this video, I'm going to talk about Harry, his potential narcissism, how that impacts his, in quotation marks, humanitarian work. And I also want to talk about the newest article that just came out alluding to the origin of the conflict between Dr. Sophie Chandauka, and I apologize if I pronounce her name incorrectly, and the Sussexes, and how that was sparked by a request that, in my opinion, crosses boundaries and led to punishment for noncompliance, something that's typical in narcissistic relationship. This topic is one that has been making my insides boil all week, and it is time to get the frustration out. So, won't you join me on this adventure? But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. So, the moment in that interview where Harry is glowing and Meghan is composed, I think is the perfect image of what's to come. He's emotionally open, she's controlled. He sees them as a team, she sees the beginning of her spotlight. I've mentioned before that narcissists are not capable of collaboration. They're competitors, they're not collaborators. So from the beginning, she was not equipped to be part of a team. And it was naturally going to fall apart because she has to be the one that shines. And that's not how it works when you work in a team. Going back to that video, I I do think Harry at that moment was sincere. I think he was vulnerable to someone who knew how to mirror his sincerity for gain. And over time, that mirroring stops and manipulation begins. So we'll explore a little bit of that later. But let's talk a little bit about Sentebale. Sentebale is a charitable organization and it was co founded in 2006 by Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso of Lesotho. The charity's mission is to support children and young people in Lesotho and Botswana who are affected by HIV, AIDS, poverty, and inequality. The name Sentebale translates to forget me not in Sesotho, symbolizing a commitment to remember and assist those vulnerable populations. We've heard over the last few days that there's a lot of internal conflict happening within Sentebale. And what's the most surprising thing is that Prince Harry and Prince Seiso resigned from their roles as patrons of the charity. I want to mention also that both princes lost their mothers when they were young, and a lot of what they're doing is in honor of their mothers. So for Harry to step back is a big deal. And for Harry to be accused of all of this wrongdoings for a charity that he started in honor of his mother is appalling. It's disgusting. Getting back to Harry and Prince Seiso stepping down, their decision followed a breakdown in relations between the charity's trustees and its chairwoman, Dr. Sophie Chandauka. Chandauka has allegedly experienced disrespect, bullying, and intimidation during her tenure, while the trustees have accused her of harming, the charity's well-being. The UK's Charity Commission has allegedly initiated an investigation into these governance issues. Let's read that article that came out very recently. So, this article was published today, March 29th, and the title of the article is Chair of Prince Harry's Charity Blames Meghan Markle for Starting Tensions with the Duke of Sussex. And yeah, let's get exactly into it. The article begins: the chair of an African charity co-founded by Prince Harry has said tensions with the Duke of Sussex began in April 2024 when she refused what she described as a request to defend Meghan in the media, deepening an ongoing public row. Dr. Sophie Chandauka, who has chaired Sentebale since 2023, claimed the charity's founders, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, want to force a failure and then come to the rescue. This is actually something that narcissists do. They will create a chaos and create tragedy and come and fix it to look like the hero. So, why do narcissists do this? Create a crisis just to later be seen as a savior. It gives them control, admiration, and the spotlight. And in this case, allegedly destabilizing the charity so they can return later as the heroic founders who saved it again. It's a tactic often used in toxic relationships where chaos is created, they step in as the solution and keep everybody else off balance and dependent. If you've ever experienced this, please, and if you feel comfortable sharing, please drop that in the comments. The article continues. In an interview after the dispute erupted, Chandauka told the Financial Times that the number one risk for this organization was the toxicity of its lead patron's brand. The princes found Sentebale, meaning forget-me-not, in 2006 in memory of their mothers to help young people affected by AIDS in southern Africa. The royal patrons and all 5 of the charity's trustees resigned earlier this week rather than remain involved with Chandauka as chair, with the UK Charity Commission now looking into the events. I'm going to come back and touch on this about how it's not just Harry and Prince Seeiso that resigned, but that there's 5 other people involved, and how this can be related to toxicity and manipulation and basically narcissism in the workplace. The article continues. Chandauka claims she experienced disrespect, bullying, and intimidation, and misogyny and misogynoir during her time as chair, allegations that have been vehemently denied. She said tensions with Prince Harry began in April 2024 when she refused what she described as a request to defend Meghan in the media. Let's watch that clip. This is an event that occurred on April 12, 2024, and you can see Meghan so rudely gesturing to Dr. Chandauka, telling her where to stand. And if you all recognize the outfit, you can see that this is the one from that was shown in the Polo documentary. So I mean, there's no excuse for it. Meghan knew this was all being captured. It was going to go into the Polo documentary potentially, but she just can't help herself, just commanding where people need to stand, and it's rude. And as you can expect, there was public fallout from this behavior. It's not right. It's not nice to gesture to people like that, especially someone who is one of the head chair people of the Sentebale organization. It's every time Meghan does something, I try to be surprised, but I'm really not. The article continues. She said, I said no, we're not setting a precedent by which we become an extension of the Sussex PR machine. In March, Chandauka took the dramatic step of applying to the UK High Court to block a boardroom vote to remove her. Good for her, standing up. That is so empowering to read. That is so empowering. I love it. The article continues. Chandauka argued that Prince Harry's volatile public image since his move to the US, including his Netflix docuseries and controversial memoir, had impacted the charity's ability to attract donors and make senior hires. Prince Harry has provided direct funding for the charity, including £1.5 million from the sale of his book Spare, according to 2022 accounts. Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't realize that Prince Harry himself provided funding. But I mean, look at the other charities that Harry and Meghan are involved with. This isn't the only time we've heard of this inability to attract donors. And I'm speaking specifically about Invictus because I believe Invictus has the same type of trouble. And I mean, think about it. If you're a donor and you have a significant amount of money you want to give to a good cause, you want to make sure that the people that you're donating to are trustworthy. They're not um, surrounded by rumors and speculation and bad press and potentially shady dealings, allegedly. And Harry admitted in Spare what he does in his, pun intended, in his spare time. So it's really, if it was me and I had all this money to donate, I would consider it very risky to donate to something that Harry is involved in a powerful way. So let's go into an analysis of this article. So the tension sparked by Megan related requests. And I would say what Megan requested is crossing boundaries. She's asking for someone to come out and negate their experience. I'm sure Dr. Sophie wasn't comfortable with what happened. And then probably when she saw it on video, it angered her even more. This brings me to a side topic. Whenever I would look back on things that have happened to me, a lot of times I would approach it with sadness. And over the last 2 years, there is so much anger in me about these things that have happened. And I've been trying to work through them. Of course, I'm in therapy. We all need someone that we know will validate us and is in our corner and, we can bounce ideas off of. That's neither here nor there. But in therapy, I was saying, I don't know why I'm so angry. And my therapist told me that being angry is a sign that you recognize boundaries have been passed and broken. So I would imagine if Dr. Sophie saw this video and saw that behavior, it would lead to a lot of anger because it was rude. And then on top of it, she's being asked to invalidate her own experience. So if this is accurate that Meghan and Harry together are making this request, they're allegedly expecting their charitable partners to act as PR shields. The refusal to do so is painted here at the inciting incident. It supports this broader public narrative that Meghan and Harry blur personal interests with professional and philanthropic roles, damaging to both credibility and charity governance norms. And again, it's these types of things that would make people not want to donate their money to causes that Harry and Meghan are, at the top of the leadership. There's also this expectation of loyalty and not integrity. This is a classic narcissistic expectation. They basically say, if you're in my orbit, your job is to protect my image, regardless of truth or professional boundaries. Narcissists treat people like extensions of themselves, not individuals with independent judgment or ethical standards. Refusing to, in quotation marks, defend Meghan wasn't just a disagreement, it was perceived as betrayal. On a side note, Megan is very smart at trying to change the Google algorithms. A month after this event, Harry and Meghan went to another polo event in Nigeria at Lagos, I believe. Here's a picture of that. Megan's wearing the same sunglasses, it looks like to me, and a very similar outfit. So I wonder if this whole thing was planned. So if you ever typed in Harry, Meghan, polo, sunglasses, outfit, or white outfit, or whatever, that the algorithm would be confused and would maybe lead you more to the second event that happened in Nigeria. Okay, going back to this article, we see here that there's punishment for non-compliance. And I'm making a leap here by saying that. And I'm basing that on a couple of things. Many people, including trustees, resigned rather than remain under Chandauka's leadership. And she alleges she was met with disrespect, bullying, and intimidation. This again aligns with the narcissistic playbook. If you don't comply or mirror their image, they'll ostracize or sabotage you. Noncompliance is met with smear campaigns, power plays, and character assassinations. This behavior mirrors what many survivors of narcissistic abuse experience in personal relationship, especially with covert narcissists who hide behind charm or prestige. I came across another article this morning about Princess Eugenie having conflict now, I guess, with Harry and Meghan, and it's allegedly because of a picture of Princess Eugenie with Piers Morgan, who Meghan has had a public falling out with. This video is coming soon, and it has to do with loyalty and non-compliance. So it's interesting that these two stories are coming out at about the same time. It shows you character, that there is this loyalty that's expected, and if you don't go along with it, if you don't follow, there is a price to pay. You will be cut out. It's very black and white thinking, and it's very typical of people that are in these cluster B personalities, which includes narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. So stay tuned. That video is going to be coming very, very soon. Okay, guys, ultimately, and the most damning thing that we're learning here is that this proves that the Sussexes use charities to launder their image. We've always said that they do. We've always known that they do. But this is a first-hand account of it happening. Chandauka's statement that she refused to let Sentebale become part of the Sussex PR machine shows something deeper. Narcissists often attach themselves to virtuous causes, and it's not because they care, but it's because it enhances their image. When people within the organization stop playing along, the narcissist will either abandon it or burn it down to prevent others from controlling the narrative. Okay, everyone, I'm going to end this video here. We'll call this part 1. Part 2 is where I'm going to explore Harry and his motivations behind being involved in charity work, his potential narcissism, and my opinions about that, because that has been something of a lot of discussion. I want to thank you all so much for listening. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you for all your support. You have no idea how much it means to me. I try to read all of your comments and I try to respond to as many as you can. You guys know how to make someone feel really loved. Yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.